The city pulsed with frenetic energy. Skyscrapers pierced the sky, casting long shadows on the bustling streets below. A cacophony of sound filled the air, car horns, sirens, and the murmur of 1,000 conversations. Amidst this urban jungle, two lives as different as night and day were about to intersect. Elias, a renowned violinist, lived for the refined elegance of the concert hall. His world revolved around the purity of music, his days spent in quiet practice, his evenings filled with the adulation of discerning audiences. He was a creature of habit and routine, his life a carefully orchestrated symphony. Maria, on the other hand, knew only the harsh realities of the streets. A single mother struggling to make ends meet, her days were an endless cycle of work and worry. Her world was one of grime and grit, her music the rumble of the subway and the sirens wailing in the distance. Fate, it seemed, had other plans. One evening, as Elias hurried through the crowded subway station, his mind preoccupied with the upcoming concert, his path collided with Maria's. In a flurry of apologies and spilled groceries, their worlds briefly intertwined. As Elias bent to help Maria gather her belongings, his gaze fell upon a small, worn-out cassette player amidst the scattered oranges and bread. It was a relic from another era, its plastic cracked and faded, yet it held a strange familiarity for him. A wave of compassion swept over Elias as he looked at Maria's tired face, her hands roughened by work. In that instant, he saw beyond the worn clothes and the weary eyes, recognizing a kindred spirit, another soul navigating life's complexities. He reached into his pocket and without a second thought pressed a $100 bill into her hand. Maria was taken aback. Her first instinct was to refuse, her pride struggling against her circumstances. But the look of genuine empathy in Elias's eyes, the absence of judgment or pity, disarmed her. Tears welled up in her eyes as she mumbled a thank you, her voice choked with emotion. That night, as Elias stood on the grand stage, bathed in the warm glow of the spotlight, the memory of Maria's grateful face stayed with him. The encounter had stirred something deep within him, a realization of the vastness of the world beyond his own. His music that night seemed to flow with a renewed sense of purpose, resonating with a depth and emotion that moved the audience to tears. Meanwhile, Maria used the money to buy a new winter coat for her daughter, her heart overflowing with gratitude for the stranger's kindness. The encounter had shown her that even in the depths of despair, hope could emerge from the most unexpected quarters. The world, she realized, was not just a cold, indifferent place. The following day, Elias found himself drawn back to the subway station. He couldn't explain it, this pull towards a world so unfamiliar. He saw Maria again, this time her face etched with worry. She was holding a piece of paper, her eyes scanning the faces in the crowd. Hesitantly, Elias approached her. He learned that Maria's daughter, inspired by the story of the kind stranger, had drawn a picture for the music man. Lost in the commotion of the previous day, they hadn't been able to return it. Elias was touched by the gesture. He knelt down and looked at the drawing. It was a simple yet powerful image. A violin drawn with crayons, its strings transformed into a smiling face. He could see the innocence and hope reflected in the child's art. He took out his violin and there in the middle of the bustling station filled the air with the most beautiful melody. The music, pure and ethereal, seemed to momentarily halt the city's frenetic pace. People stopped in their tracks, drawn in by the unexpected serenade. For Elias, it was a transformative experience. The grand concert halls had never felt so small. He had discovered a new stage, a new audience, and in doing so, a new dimension to his music. The city, once a cacophony, now seemed filled with possibilities, each face a story waiting to be heard. Maria, too, felt a shift within her. The music, like a balm to her soul, reminded her of the beauty that still existed in the world, the kindness that could bloom even in the most unexpected places. She vowed to pay it forward, to be a source of hope and support for others struggling in the city's shadows. Word of Elias's subway performances spread like wildfire. People from all walks of life flocked to the station, drawn not just by the virtuosity of his music, but also by the message it conveyed, a message of hope, compassion, and human connection. The station, once a symbol of anonymity and transience, was transformed into a space of shared humanity. Inspired by Elias's example, Maria started a small community outreach program, offering support and resources to struggling families in her neighborhood. She used the power of music, the universal language that transcended social barriers, to bring people together, fostering a sense of community and belonging. Elias and Maria's paths, once so disparate, now intersected regularly. They found solace and inspiration in their shared passion for music and their commitment to making a difference in the lives of others. Their story became a testament to the power of human connection, a reminder that even the smallest act of kindness can have a ripple effect, transforming lives and communities. Their story resonated with people far beyond the confines of the city. It was a story for our times, a beacon of hope in an increasingly polarized world, a reminder that we are all interconnected, our lives intertwined in ways we may never fully comprehend. The city continued to pulse with its frenetic energy, but amidst the cacophony, a new melody could be heard, a symphony of kindness, compassion, and human connection. It was a melody that echoed through the streets, reminding everyone that even in the heart of the urban jungle, the human spirit could soar. In the grand symphony of life, every act of kindness, no matter how small, played a vital role, contributing to a richer, more harmonious composition. It was a reminder that we all had the power to make a difference, to be the change we wished to see in the world. Years later, the memory of the violinist and the single mother lived on, their story passed from one generation to the next. It became part of the city's folklore, a reminder that even in the most unexpected encounters, hope and humanity could prevail. And so, the city's heartbeat continued, its rhythm infused with a newfound sense of compassion, its symphony enriched by the echoes of their kindness. Thank you for watching.